Hello and welcome back to Triclaw Gaming with me, Fletcher.
And welcome back to Jurassic World Evolution 2, and welcome to the Biosyn Aquatic Research Centre. I've made this map deliberately just to show you a quick few things in this particular video. But before we get into the video, please don't forget to like, comment, and if you are new to the channel, please don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for more content from all of us at Triclaw Gaming. So, what is the purpose of this map and what are we doing today? Well, I wanted to go through a few different ideas of how you can use the new Biosyn viewing towers for your lagoons specifically, because lagoons are in dire need of some love and attention from Frontier. I don't think any of us can deny that. And the Biosyn pack does give us a few different ways, so I've manufactured this facility to show some of those ways. Now, not all of the ways are going to be for modders, even though, as you can see here, I've combined a few structures together just to create some Biosyn style lagoon hatcheries. Not all of the suggestions I'm going to provide are going to be for those who use mods. I'm going to use some that are not for modders, and we'll start off with those. So this particular lagoon over here, what can we do with it? Well, obviously you can position your towers on the very edge of lagoons so that you can get a good view perhaps of shark feeders nearby. This is probably the most simple thing that you can do with towers, but you have the advantage that you don't have to connect them with path or anything like that. So you can position these towers in difficult to reach places, or in positions where they might be quite far away from path. But something you could do is position the viewing tower in the middle of an artificial island in the middle of a big enclosure, like I've done here, putting a few trees and shrubs to sort of give the island some decoration. And obviously if you use mods, you can take it one further and make this island look a lot more decorative. Even just without mods, this still works, and you can use this to give a good view of feeders. Now obviously you can't go underneath, if you're not using mods that is, you can't go underneath the waterline, so you're restricted to really putting this into lagoons where they might have something they can definitely see, such as the shark feeders. So what I've done is I've already got a couple of shark feeders into position. I'm going to turn dinosaur hunger on and we'll see what sort of view we get. So as you can see here, we've got the dinosaur's hunger is off, and we are going to see what sort of view we get. We got the two feeders in good view. That one over there probably gives us the better view. Yeah, we can see we do kind of get it to see some of the mosasaurs if they come to the surface within view, so it's not like you can't see anything at all from up here. But let's see if we can catch one of the mosasaurs feeding. I didn't realize, by the way, that this new toggle highlight system had been put in. It's a really useful system, so especially if you're someone who takes a lot of screenshots and stuff like I do, it's useful to know where the animals are.
A few moments later.
There we go, there's the one. We call one at least. Let's see if we can get a better view of the other one on the other side. There we go. Good views of the mosasaurs feeding. So yeah, that's two ways you can use the viewing towers if you're not using mods. Have them in an island in the middle of the enclosure, or have them along the edges where perhaps you might not want paving or anything like that. And obviously the bigger the enclosure you have, the more little islands you could do. So imagine you had an enclosure that was this size but without the middle cutout. You could have several small islands dotted around the edge, or dotted around the middle, each giving different views of different sides of this enclosure. What about if you wanted to try and do something a little more impressive? Well, here we have two viewing towers which I've put on top of each other. If I just raise this one Oh, we've missed the Chronosaurus feeding, which is a bit annoying. Here we have 2 viewing towers beneath one another, giving a nice view of this Chronosaurus enclosure. Now the one at the top, obviously we can get a nice view of the entire enclosure. And from this height as well, you'd probably get a good view of any enclosure that might be on the back of this one. So if you have dinosaurs in an enclosure at the back, you could get a good view there. I'd probably put that shark feeder at that end in the wrong place. It's probably better off if it was over at an edge, so you could get a good angle. The more interesting one though is to have one at this height. So we've got one just at water level, which gives us a good water level view of each Chronosaur, if any of them do pop along. There should be one apparently right there, although it's difficult to see. Let's just drop it down underneath the waterline a bit. This is the real advantage of using these viewing towers, is that we can put them under the waterline using Kyodenic's move mod, and hopefully get a good view of any Chronosaurs that get closer. The only problem is that the you do have to remember reflection still works, so in certain conditions and at certain angles you might not get too great of a view, so you might need to play around with the galleries, with the lagoon towers, move them around a bit so you get a good shot. But if they are getting closer, look at that, here they come out of the mist. I think that's a really good view. Thank you, Chronosaurus. You're doing well there, giving us a great show for the video. There he goes. You can really take advantage of being able to put these under the waterline. They work perfectly well. They operate. You've got no warning messages or anything at the top, and you get a really great view of the Chronosaurus down there. Using this method of double stacking them as well, you can have just something a little more interesting for the enclosure. Hiding this central pillar would be quite difficult, but what you could do is create an artificial island with rocks that hides this lower panel, and then both of them could go up and down, and you'd hide that odd little bit in the center. So let's take this idea of the in-lagoon towers to the next level. Here we have some towers I've already placed down in the waterline. So what I've done is I've switched it to dusk so that we can have slightly better lighting, because a couple of these are in some awkward places. But you can see here that this tower is positioned right at the edge of our lagoon hatchery. So what I'm going to do is set these ichthyosaurs to release, and then we're going to quickly switch to the gallery, the tower, and there we go. We got a nice view of our ichthyosaurs coming out of the
Owen Grady
tower
here.
there.
I'll keep it brief.
Owen Grady, shut up.
That's it. Done.
Go away.
While dinosaurs once ruled the earth, other animals ruled the seas. Take the ichthyosaurus, a perfect example of what I'm talking about. They have a large dorsal fin, much like a dolphin. Or actually more like a shark.
God, I'm going to have to remember to turn off commentary for the next hatchery release. Yeah, as you saw there, we got a good view of them being released from the hatchery and swimming around, and we got to see that one swimming over. So I've got some more dinosaurs ready to go. I'm just going to set them to release quickly, and then we're going to switch to the lower gallery, tower, whatever you want to call it. I keep calling it a gallery, I don't know why, I do apologize. And I've released some plesiosaurs from this one. This is probably a bit too far away from the hatchery, but as you can see, it's still working. We're still getting some good shots. Just raise the level of the tower. Hopefully they'll come over here. There we go. So again, it works very well. So as I was saying, there we go. Gives us a good view of the plesiosaurs as they come out. Obviously, once they come out of the hatchery, you're not going to have such dedicated good views. So what I would suggest is do something like what we've got over here. We've got fish feeders positioned near this particular tower, and hopefully we should be able to catch either the ichthyosaurs or the plesiosaurs coming closer to grab some fish. There's our ichthyosaur down there. Artificially putting feeding sources near towers, or any sort of a viewing structure, it's a good way of getting good views of the dinosaurs, which just helps your park rating. You can see them all in they're all in completely different positions, which is a bit annoying. You can just about see them in the shadows. And obviously, the smaller you have the lagoon, the better the view of the animals you're going to get. But even so, this still works really well as a good inside lagoon viewing system. And I think gives us a lot of different possibilities for making use of these new towers. I do have another tower set up for the Liopleurodon. Let's see what sort of view we get of the Liopleurodons. There they are. Let's just raise this one up. No, this one is going down. Whoops. We can just about see it there. If he goes over the top or gets much closer, that would be ideal. Oh, they've gone out of position. That's annoying. But as you can see, they're all connected up, interconnected with the Hyperloop train. They are all functioning. They all have visible dinosaur appeal. This one says 9, visible dinosaur appeal 1309. So they still all operate completely correct, even though they're underwater. So in terms of campaign or challenge mode, anything like that, they can be used. Obviously, if you want to bury them underwater like this, you are limited to using Kyodenic's Move It mod to accomplish that. And if you don't use mods, you are again restricted to probably positioning them on islands like this or at the edges of enclosures. But it's certainly nice to have something a bit more interesting that we can do with our lagoons, rather than just having to have the viewing galleries at the sides. I hope that's given you some ideas of how to make use of your viewing towers and improving your perhaps slightly boring lagoons. Let me know in the comments what you think of my ideas, and if you have any other tips and tricks, do put them down there as well. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and don't forget to ring the bell icon so that you're kept up to date on any more future content releases from us. There will be more Jurassic World Evolution 2 videos from me and more content from all of us at Triclaw Gaming, so please do keep watching and keep subscribing and help us get to that 500 subs by the end of July target. For now, keep safe everyone, thank you for watching and goodbye.